In step 5, I will be applying the check for the punching shear, and the codal provision for the application of punching shear is in page number 5859, clause 31.6.3.1 of IS 456-2000, and we will be proceeding the application of the punching shear, taking the section for the punching shear around the column B. I will show you in the diagram here. This is our column B, and this dotted portion shows the section for the punching shear whose dimension is denoted by B note. And let me write it down, then we will proceed it. So I have written it, and the B note is taken as the width of this column plus half of the depth d by 2, and this is also d by 2. So we can write it as the section check for the punching shear, and the section will be at distance B note equals to width of the column B plus 2 times d by 2, and we can write it as, and the width of the column B is 600 millimeter. Let me show you in the diagram. Here, as you can see, the width of the column B is 600 millimeter, and we are taking the section for the punching shear at distance d by 2 from the face of the column. So we will have here B equals to 600 plus 2 times D, and the D is 360 by 2. So we will have here B note equals to 960 millimeter. Now let's find out the shear, and we have a formula for finding shear equals to loading on the column minus upward soil pressure P note into area of the punching section. So we have loading on the column is 1600 kilonewton minus, and the P note means the upward soil pressure we have calculated in a first step, that is 181.81, and now the area of the section, punching section. So see here, and this is B note, and we are taking the dimension d by 2, then the same dimension will be here also d by 2, and this is B note, so this portion will also be B note. So the area of the punching section will be B note square. So we simply need to do the square of 960 millimeter. So this will be 0.96 meter, and it is square. So we will get the value of shear stress here. Now after finding the value of V, let's find the value of VU, and VU will be given by 1.5 times V. So multiply this value by 1.5. Now after finding the value of shear force, we need to find the shear stress, and that will be given as tau V equals to VU by perimeter of the punching shear section into D. Now see here guys, we have taken that the punching shear is at distance, width of the punching shear is B note, and its length is also B note. So if we take the perimeter, then we need to simply add all the sides. So I have done the same thing here. 4 times B note means B note plus B note plus B note plus B note. So we will have 4 B note into D. Now we will have on multiplying two lengths together, it will be converted into area, and if we divide the shear force by area, it will become shear stress. So now put down the value and find the shear stress. So we will have here 2148.66 into 10 to the power 3 divided by 4 into B note. B note is 960, so it will be 960 into D is, and the value of D is 360. So write it down here. We have got the value of tau V equals to 1.55 Newton per millimeter square. Now after finding the value of tau V, we need to find the value of tau C, and from the code, as per the provision of the clause 31.6.3.1, we have tau C equals to 0.25 times root under FCK. So put the value of FCK equals to 20, and we will get here 1.118 Newton per millimeter square. Now see here guys, what we need to, this is our permissible shear stress and this is our actual shear stress. As you can see here, actual shear stress is greater than our permissible shear stress. It means our section is not suitable against the shear, that is punching shear. So we need to find the suitable depth of the given footing. So we will write here, as tau v is greater than tau c, the depth from the bending compression is inadequate. So we need to find the depth here, and here we will be using the same formula for finding the depth, only we need to take tau c here. So we will have here d equals to vu upon 4 b naught into tau c. Now put down the value of vu, that is 214648.66 into 10 to the power 3 divided by 4 into b naught is 960 into tau c, and tau c is 1.118. Now from here we will get the value of d equals to 500.48 millimeter. As we have got d equals to 500.48 millimeter, so let us take overall depth equals to 560 millimeter and small d equals to 500 millimeter. This is our corrected depth, and this is going to satisfy our numerical. Now in step 6 we will be designing the bending tension or the reinforcement in longitudinal direction. So we will begin with finding the tension reinforcement taking hogging moment. That is, we have first step, that is taking maximum hogging moment, and we have already found the value that the maximum hogging moment is 659.08 kilonewton meter. So we will have here mu equals to 659.08 into 1.5. This is factor of safety as per the limit state method, and we will get here 988.62 kilonewton meter. Now after getting the value of mu, we need to find the value of AST, and we have the formula for finding AST, that is 0.5 FCK upon Fy times 1 minus root under 1 minus 4.6 mu upon FCK BD square times BD. Now put down the value and find the final value of AST. So we will have here 0.5 into 20 by 415 times 1 minus root under 1 minus 4.6 times mu, means 988.62 into 10 to the power 6 to convert kilonewton meter to into newton millimeter into 20 into b, and we have the width of the footing as 2600 millimeter into we have got the depth as 500 millimeter in the previous step times b 2600 into 500, and on solving this we will get the final value of AST, which will be equal to 6066 millimeter square. And now using 16 millimeter dia bars, number of bars required equals to 6066 divided by AST of 1 bar of 16 millimeter dia, that is 201.06 millimeter square, and from here we will get the number of bar as 30.12 0.17, which will be approximately equals to 31 bars. Now let's find the percentage of steel, and we have the formula for finding the percentage of steel as PT is equal to AST by BD times 100, and AST is here how much reinforcement we have provided here, and we have provided 31 bars, so 31 into AST of 1 bar is 201.06, and this is our total AST provided by BD, and the BD is going to be 2600 into 500 into 100, and we will get the value of percentage of steel as 0.479. Now after percentage of steel, we need to take the shear force, and the shear force VU equals to 1.5 times the shear which we have got at the second point of contraflexure. If you remember the diagram, let me show you the diagram. Here is the diagram, and the second point of contraflexure is at column B. So here we will be taking the shear force at the second point of contraflexure, which is 749.09 kilonewton. So let us take VU equals to 749.09 and multiply it by 1.5, and we will get here 1123.63 kilonewton. Now after finding the value of VU, let's find out XU, means the depth of the neutral axis, and we have the formula for finding XU, that is 0.87 Fy into AST by 0.36 FCK into B. Now put down the respective value, and the B is 2600 millimeter here, so we will get here 120.21 millimeter as the value of XU. Now let's find moment M1 here for these values for shear force and this XU. So we will have here 0.87 Fy times AST times D minus 0.416 times XU, means we need to find the moment at the neutral axis. Put the value 0.87 into 415 into total AST provided, which is 31 bars of 16 millimeter dia, 0.06 times D means 500 minus 0.416 into, and the value of XU is 120.21. From here we will get the value of M. After solving this, we will get the value of M1 as 1012.65 kilonewton meter. Now after finding the M1, let us apply a check, that is M1 by VU plus L0 should be greater than or equal to LD. So first let us see it's in codal provision, and you will get this provision in page 44 of IS code 456 of clause 26.2.3.3. Now what will be the value of L0? So as per the code, L0 is equal to 12 phi or D, which is in clause, same clause 26.2.3.3 C. So from here whichever is greater. So if we will as we are providing 16 millimeter dia bar, so 12 into 16, it's going to be 192 millimeter, and we have D equals to 500 millimeter. So we have got the value of L0 as L0 equals to 500 millimeter, and for LD we have the formula, that is development length is 47 phi. It is generally taken 47 phi. So 47 into 16 millimeter dia bar is equals to 752 millimeter. Now let's put down the formula and check whether we have this value greater than LD or not. So if we put the value of M1, which we have calculated here, that is 1 012.65 into 10 to the power 6 by VU, and the VU value is 1123.63 into 10 to the power 3 plus 500, and it will be equals to 1401.23, which is greater than 47.5, that is 752. It means our codal requirement, which satisfies the codal requirement, Now it's time to find the reinforcement for second moment, which was the moment at column B, and that was our sagging moment. So let's find out the reinforcement. Now here we will be finding the reinforcement for the sagging bending moment M2U, and we will be taking the moment at the face of the column B, and we have calculated it as 227 kilonewton meter. So we will have here M2U equals to 1.5 times 227 kilonewton meter, which will be equals to 340.5 kilonewton meter. Now after finding the M2U, value of M2U, let's find AST, and again we will be using the same formula, which is for finding the AST, that is 0.5 FCK by Fy times 1 minus root under 1 minus 4.6 M2U by FCK BD square times B into D. So put down the value, and we will get the value of AST equals to 1945 millimeter square. Now after finding AST, let's provide 12 millimeter dia bar. Provide 12 millimeter dia bars. So number of bars required will be equals to divide the total AST 1945 millimeter square by AST of 1 bar of 12 millimeter dia, which will be 113.1 millimeter square, and after solving this we will get here 17.19, which will be approximately equals to 18 bars. Now again we need to find the percentage of steel, and we will be again using the formula, that is AST by BD times 100, and AST will be 18 bars of total area is 113.1 by BD means 2600 into 500 into 100, and we will get the percentage of steel as 0.156. Now after finding the percentage of steel, we need to take the value of shear force, that is shear force VU will be equals to 1.5 times shear force at the second point of contraflexure, that is 749.09 kilonewton. So let's write it down here. VU equals to 1.5 times 749.09, and after solving this we will get the value of VU, which will be equals to 1123.63 kilonewton. Now after finding the value of VU, let's find out the depth of the neutral axis, that is XU equals to 0.87 Fy times AST by 0.36 FCK into B, and after putting the value here, we will have here XU equals to 39.26 millimeter. After finding the value of XU, let's find the moment, that is M1 equals to 0.87 Fy into AST times D minus 0.416 XU. You might have noticed that the reinforcement for the sagging bending moment M2U is similar we have done for the hogging bending moment M1U. So after finding, we will get the value of M1 here as 355.5 kilonewton meter. Now let's apply the check, that is M1 by VU plus L note should be greater than or equal to LD. So on putting the value, we will get here 816.38 is greater than 564. Here the moment value will be placed and VU value will be placed, and L0 and LD value is similar that we have done in preceding step, which was before in the step of M1U. And we have got the and now we will be designing the reinforcement for the sagging bending moment M3U, that is at column A. Now let's write it down here. Reinforcement for sagging bending moment M3U, and again we will be taking the moment M3U equals to moment at the face of the column A, so we need to multiply 1.5 times 52.21. this is the moment at the face of the column A, and we will get here 78.31 kilonewton meter. Now let's find out the value of AST, and we will again use the formula, that is 0.5 FCK upon Fy times 1 minus root under 1 minus 4.6 mu by FCK BD square times BD. So we will get the value of AST as 437.08, which is very less. So we will because if we will provide 12 millimeter dia bar, then the number of bar which we will calculate will be very less. So we will proceed taking the minimum reinforcement. So taking minimum reinforcement, we will have that is 12%, 0.12% of cross sectional area. So minimum reinforcement we will have here AST equals to 0.12%, means 12 by 100 into cross section means 2600 is our width into overall depth is 560 millimeter. So we will have here 1747.2 millimeter square. Now providing 12 millimeter dia bar, providing 12 millimeter dia bar, number of bars required equals to 1747.2 by AST of 1 bar of 12 millimeter dia is 113.09 millimeter square. See here guys, sorry for this. And we have got the number of bar as 15.44, so we will be providing 16 bars. Now we have designed the tension reinforcement. Now we will be designing the reinforcement in transverse direction or longitudinal direction. So let's move toward that step. Now here comes step 7, and in step 7 we will be designing the transverse reinforcement. So we will be needing a new diagram for finding the transverse reinforcement, and this is here. Here this strip portion represents the bending in section for the bending in transverse direction, and B1 is the width of the bending strip, and A1 is the distance from the edge of the longitudinal reinforcement up to the face of the column. So we will need the area of this section for finding the reinforcement. So let's without wasting time, let's begin to add the reinforcement of the transverse reinforcement at column A, and similarly the transverse reinforcement at column B. So our first line is to find the projection A from the face of column A. Means we need to find the value of this small a, and let's see guys how we can find here. If we subtract this whole width minus this width of this column and divide this by 2. What I said, if we subtract this portion from this whole, means this portion, I mean to say we need to subtract this length from this whole and then divide it by 2, then we will get the value of a. So we will have here projection value equals to 1 by 2 times 2600 minus 500. So we will have here a equals to 1050 millimeter or 1.05 meter for column A. Similarly, width of bending strip B1, and see here guys, again let's move to diagram. See here guys, this is the width of the column is B and we are taking it up to the distance D, which is the depth of the column. We are taking the strip up to the distance D from the face of the column in this longitudinal direction. So we will we have made a formula here, that is B1 equals to B plus 2D. So let's write it down here. B1 will be equals to B plus 2D, and we need to put the value, that is B equals to 500 plus, as the column width of the column A is 500 millimeters, so 2 into, and the depth of the column is, depth of the footing is 500 millimeters, so we will get all together as 1500 millimeter or 1.5 meter. Now net upward pressure, net upward pressure P naught equals to W1, means loading on the footing, divide by area of the strip or the bending strip, that is B times B1. This multiply this into this, then we will get the area of the bending strip. So we will get here loading on the column A is 1200 divided by, and the value of B is 2.6 meter and the B1 is 1.5 meter. So we will get here P naught equals to 307.7 kilonewton per meter square. Now time for the maximum bending moment. So we will have here maximum bending moment M equals to 307.7, this is kilonewton per meter square. So we will be taking for distance 1 meter into now the area, that is projection, that is A square by 2, which is A times A by 2. Now we will have here, on solving the and putting the value of A as 1.05 meter, so we will get here M equals to 169.62 kilonewton meter. Now if we find value of mu equals to 1.5 times M, then it will be equals to 254.43 kilonewton meter. And if we need to find the value of depth D equals to root under mu by ru times B, and here we will be taking the value of B as 1000 meter because we have taken here 1 meter span. So value of mu equals to 254.43 into 10 to the power 6 divided by ru, means 2.761 into B is 1000. So we have got the value of D equals to 303.56 millimeter, which is less than our D, that is 500 millimeter. So here we can write it here, hence it is insufficient. So take D equals to 500 millimeter. Now we all know that a transverse reinforcement is placed over the longitudinal reinforcement. Suppose this is our longitudinal reinforcement and we will be providing the transverse reinforcement over this, and if we have a view here, then it will be like this. See, this is our longitudinal reinforcement and the transverse reinforcement will be above this, and this is our depth D. So this is D is up to the longitudinal reinforcement, and the depth for the transverse reinforcement will be less than this 500 millimeter. So let's take D dash equals to 500 minus, if we are providing 12 millimeter dia bar, then it will be minus 12, because half from the longitudinal reinforcement and half from the transverse reinforcement is subtracted. So see, that is, this 12 is actual minus 6 for that is D by 2 from the longitudinal reinforcement and D by 2 from the transverse reinforcement. So we will get here D equals to 488 millimeter. Now let's find AST, and AST we will be using the formula 0.5 FCK by Fy times 1 minus root under 1 minus 4.6 mu by FCK BD square times BD, and we will get the value of AST as 1546 millimeter square using 12 millimeter dia bar. Spacing of bar equals to 1000 into area of one bar by total AST. So we will get here 73.15. So let us provide these at 80 millimeter center to center. Now this was the transverse reinforcement at column A. Similarly, we will be designing the transverse reinforcement for the column B. Again, for finding the transverse reinforcement for column B, we need to find the projection here. Let's denote by A, and let's use the formula here. Again, we will be using the formula, that is projection at column B, and it will be given as B equals to 1 by 2 times 2600 minus depth or the dimension of the column B is 600 millimeter. So we will get the projection A at column B equals to 1000 millimeter, which will be equals to 1 meter. Similarly, width of bending strip B1 equals to B plus 2D, and we will have here 600 plus 2 times 500, and it will be equals to 1600 millimeter or 1.6 meter. Now time to find net upward pressure. So net upward pressure, that is P naught dash equals to W2 by dimension of the bending strip, that is B1 times B. So on putting the value 1600 by 1.6 into 2.6, we will get here pressure equals to 384.61 kilonewton per meter square. Now let's find moment, and we have here M equals to P naught dash times A square by 2, that is will be equals to 384.61 into, and we have the value of A as 1 square by 2, then we will get here moment equals to 192.3 kilonewton meter. Now similarly, mu equals to 1.5 times M, so we will get here mu equals to 288.45 kilonewton meter. Now after calculating the value of mu, we need to find the value of AST. So we will again be using the same formula for AST, that is 0.5 FCK by Fy times 1 minus root under 1 minus 4.6 mu by FCK BD square times BD. So we will get the value of AST as 1814.92 millimeter square. Similarly, if we provide 12 millimeter dia bar, provide 12 millimeter dia bar, so its spacing will be given as 1000 into area of one bar of 12 millimeter dia divided by total AST. So we will get here 1000 times 113.09 by 1814.92. So spacing will be equal to 62.31 millimeter. So therefore let's write it down here. Provide these at 70. Here comes step 8, and in step 8 we will be applying check for the one-way shear, and for that we will need a diagram. So here is the diagram, and let us take the critical section at distance D from the face of the column B. Similarly, for applying one-way shear at column A, we need to take the critical section at distance D from the face of the column. These two line represents our critical section for the one-way shear. So let's begin the solution now. So for column B, what we are going to have is, let the critical section be at distance D from the face of the column. So from center of column B, we will have D equals to 0.5, which is the depth of the section or distance, which is D, plus 0.5 of the dimension or the length of the column. Let me show you this. This is 0.5 plus 0.3 up to here. So D equals to 0.8 meter. Now VU will be equals to 1.5 times. Here we have got that the shear force left of B means this side, left of B is 994 kilonewton, and we need to take this up to the distance 0.8 meter. So we need to subtract 994.91 kilonewton minus 0.8 times the load which is acting per meter width, 472.72. So we will get the final VU as 925.1 kilonewton. Now tau V will be equals to VU upon BD. So we will write down here 925.1 into 10 to the power 3 divided by B. Our B width is 2.6 meters, so this is going to be 2600 millimeter into D is 500 millimeter as usual. So we will have here 0.712 Newton per meter square. Now after getting the value of tau V, we need to find K into tau C, and we all know that our depth is greater than 300 millimeter. So value of K will be taken as 1, which is maximum as per the codal provision, which is in clause 40.2.1.1. Now to find the value of tau C, we need to use the table 19 of IS 456, and for that we need to have the value of percentage of steel that we have found out in hogging bending moment, which was PT equals to 0.479 for the which we have calculated in step 6 while finding the reinforcement for the maximum hogging bending moment. And from that, and we need to use the code table 19, and after the linear interpolation we will obtain the value of tau c, which will be equal to 0.469, which will be approximately equals to 0.47. You need to have linear interpolation, and if you want to learn linear interpolation, then I have added a video at the end of the I have dropped a link in the description. You can check it out. And after getting the value of ks into tau c, we can see here tau v is greater than tau c. It means it is unsafe, so we need to provide shear reinforcement, and for that let us provide using 8mm dia 8-legged stirrups, and we have a formula which is in page number 73 for providing the shear reinforcement. We have spacing in clause, which is in clause 40.4a, SB equals to 0.87 Fy into ASB into D upon VUS. Now what is ASB here? ASB is the reinforcement of the stirrups, and as we are providing 8-legged stirrups, so we will have here ASB equals to 8 into diameter of bar is 8, so pi by 4 into 8 square. So from here we will get the value of ASB, and which is ASB is equals to 402 millimeter square. Now let's put down the value here, 0.87 into 415 into 402 into 500 by, and VUS we have already calculated 925.1 into 10 to the power 3, and we have got the value of spacing, that is 78.44, which is approximately equals to 18 millimeter. So provide these at 80 millimeter center to center. Now this was the for the one-way shear for column B. Now we need to find the shear reinforcement for the distance between the column A and B. So let this be 1. Now second is for diagonal tension between A and B, we are going to have here shear force at point of contraflexure. For between A and B we need to use the shear force at point of contraflexure will be equals to 1.5 times 994.91 minus 472.72 into 0.52 is the distance of contraflexure, and this is the shear force between the column A and B, this value. So we will get here Bu equals to 1123.64 kilonewton. Now the process is same again. We need to find tau V equals to Vu by Bd. Same value of Bd will be same, and Vu we need to replace it. Then we will get the value of tau V equals to 0.86 Newton per millimeter square. Again we will be using the percentage of steel, which we have calculated in step 6 to step 6 2. From there we have the value of percentage of steel as 0.156. So we again need to do the interpolation in table 19 using that value of percentage of steel to find the value of tau c, and on doing so we will get value of tau c equals to 0.284, and the value of k is again going to be 1, so k into tau c will be equals to 0.284, and again we have got here that tau v is greater than tau c, so we again need to provide the shear reinforcement here. So again using 10 millimeter dia 8-legged stirrups, we will have here spacing s equals to again a same formula 0.87 fy into asv. Asv is the area of stirrup, that is 8-legged stirrups, 8 times pi by 4 into 10 square into d upon v us means the shear force. So we will have here 100.94 millimeter. So provide it at 100 millimeter center to center. Now we need to apply the one-way shear for column A. So let's provide it, which will be our final step. Now near column A we have shear force at point of contraflexure equals VU will be equals to 1.5 times 859.64 minus 472.72 into 0.148. This is the shear force right of column A. So we will have here VU equals to 1184.51 kilonewton. So after finding the value of VU, let's find tau V equals to VU upon BD. Now putting the value of VU and the value of BD is similar, which we have done in 1 and 2. So we will get here value of tau V equals to 0.911, and the value of tau C will be same, which we have found in second point. So that is 0.284 Newton per millimeter square. This is also Newton per millimeter square. Now again, as we can see here, tau V is greater than tau C, so we need to apply a shear reinforcement, that is SV equals to 0.87 Fy into ASV into D by V US. So again we will be providing 6 number of 10 millimeter dia 8-legged stirrups. So again we will use the area of 8 times pi by 4 into 10 square. So we will get here spacing equals to 95.75. So let us provide these at 100 millimeter center to center. This was our final step, and I hope this video was very helpful to all of you guys. Do like, comment and share this video. If you faced any kind of difficulties, then let me know in the comment section. Thanks once again. Have a nice day.